Scrap with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with step 10 of Happy Scrappy Overflow. It seems like we get to the marathon of this. Now, I just about ran out of strings doing this step, and I'm like, oh dear God, please don't let me run out. And what happened is I did have enough to finish, I have a very small little handful of colored scraps and another small handful of low volume. So the next couple of quilts will not be string quilts. But this is what we've done. And I'll show you how many I have left at the end, right? When we finished all of this. So this is where we're putting the cornerstones, the sashing, and the blocks are all sewn together. And we're going to make the quilt top. And I'm going to show you how to do this by webbing. Now, some people love it. Some people, you know. It works. It works out great every time. I never have problems. So we're going to try and do it this way. Now, before we get started anywhere else, let's do our shout outs. Scrap Fabric Love and Four Clovers Quilting. Both of these people are very talented artists, and they go off and they have such a good time, and their channel is very interesting, and they kind of takes a nice breath of fresh air. You know, sometimes when you talk about, like, you know, quilting channels and that, both of those guys, you gotta check them out. The YouTube links are in the show notes below. Very, very much fun, you guys. Very, very fun. So if you like what you see, tell them, of course, that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now, making comments, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, hype, hit the bell. Please do any and all of those things for us. That helps drive our analytics and pushes our videos forward so we can continue bringing fun-free patterns to quilters everywhere. And we're just having a ball doing this. I mean, you know, this has been a lot of fun for my husband and I. We also have a Facebook group, of course, and the admins say, please answer the questions, agree to the rules, otherwise I can't let you in. And, you know, this is, we're trying to keep the group very safe for quilters. So we also have a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord, and we have all sorts of fun community chats, and we do fabric exchanges by country, and we just have fun in there. And I cannot believe the pictures that are being posted of quilts and blocks and whatnot that I've done, that somebody has reimagined and, you know, and done their own thing, and wow, I'm so impressed. Also, I speak for free and to quilting groups and quilting guilds. If you're looking for me to get a hold of me, my email address is under the About tab, or you can message me through Facebook group. You know, I'm a little faster at Facebook than I am at email, but I would be happy to make an accommodation and you know, chat to your group or guild over Zoom. Right? I don't do any traveling now, and I don't have a trunk show because the quilts I make now, they're given to charity. So, also shout outs. If you guys find a quilting channel that's doing some amazing stuff and just has a unique voice and is working hard and having fun and just, you know, just send that email or that link to me and give me their names and their link, either by email or by Facebook. I'd be happy to give them a shout out. Don't tell them we're sneaking around now and doing something nice. So that's really cool. This year I was privileged enough to be part of 2 collaborations. The first one is the Quilters Challenge with Kelly from Silly Moon Quilts, another Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, Sam Alberts, Deb from Sewing with Debbie, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, Future Cat from New Zealand, and myself. Wow. This was such a unique, fun group to be part of. So what we're doing is we're challenging each other with a theme, and then we challenge our viewers as well. And we've seen some lovely stuff out of there. You guys gotta jump on that Quilters Challenge. Now, the other collaboration I'm working with is Handmade by Ying with Donna, and she's assembled a whole team. Now, I put all those YouTubers in the show notes below or the description box. Make sure you're, for both collaborations, make sure you're subscribed to all of them, otherwise you're going to miss content. Now, that one's about back to basics, so it's perfect for beginners, you know, perfect for beginners to learn, but it's also really good for guys who've been around a while and picked up some bad habits, so you don't want to miss content there either. Also, we have Zoom Sew Dates here. It's the first Saturday of every month, and it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time because I'm in Alberta, Canada. So I think that's it. I think Soya is doing their Alaska charity drive that ends August 15th. Now you're going to see in the show notes there where I've, put their .com and their YouTube channel. Please go to them for more information. All I wanted to do is advertise their charity quilt drive for Alaska, and it ends August 15th. That's all I know. That's all I know. But I mean, the people that participate in this, they just had a hoot. So, this is a good cause and everything else. So I think that's it. Yes. Come on in. Let's get to the sewing for Happy Scrappy Overflow. Okay, we're back at the sewing machine, and we've got some cute little Yoda to sew in here and a few other fun little ones. Now, when you're doing this, we're going to do it by webbing. So that means we start with a sashing piece that goes like this on the top, a cornerstone, another sashing piece that goes like this, right? Oops, it goes like this. So that's where we're going to start. So we're going to do this way. Now I've lined up this, hang on, I'll just get this all down. So I've lined this up so it's easier for me to just grab a block. Remember, it's 4 down, 4 across, very simple. We just do our counting, right? And there's, the advantage is, if you learn how to do webbing, now this is a perfect one to learn how to do webbing on, because you're not, like it's nothing mission critical, right? Okay, so we're going to go like this, goes next, and then the block, like that. That's simple, that's simple. So, there we go. So that's block 1. Oops. There we go. And it looks like a hot mess. That first row or 2 looks like a hot mess. So don't panic. Don't freak. don't anything. It is what it is, and you just have to kind of go with it. And you hope for the best. There we go. And you kind of sew your seams in place, which way, the direction you want them to go. Now, I reach down a little further into the mess, and there's our cornerstone, the outer cornerstone, and the sashing. There we go. Now, there's different ways you can do this too. There's another way where they pre-assemble all the sashing on 2 sides. And then they do it that way. If you want to do it that way, you can most certainly go do it that way. No one will stop you here. There we go. Okay. And now this one ends up this way. There. This is block 2. Now, it's all had its space stitching. Did I just run out? No, I didn't run out of bobbin. Yes, I did. Okay, now we change the bobbin. That's fine. It was bound to run out at some point. And you guys are going to be horrified as to what I'm using. I'm using bright orange, but I am also using a very shortened stitch, because that's the best way to hide bright orange. If you just hold your, put your stitches a little closer, nobody can tell you what you're sewing with until they look at the back. And since there's no back in this quilt, it's visible inside the quilt, nobody's going to see that you're sewing it together with bright orange in the bobbin. I'm dealing with a thread donation, and I'm trying to move it out. So it makes me happy. Okay. There we go. And a lot of pale pink too to get out of our fabric stash. I'm just going to move these guys down a little bit. Change the position of them. And I got a hair stuck in here somewhere. Okay, there we go. There we go. There. Just get that all together. There. Okay. Now I'm going to go down a little further and steal from the bottom. Because I can. There we go. So this is block 3, right? Okay, block 3. And you line this up. Do. Yeah. I just love doing this webbing because it is so fast for me, and I don't make mistakes on layouts and everything else. So if you find that putting that where you put sashing and the cornerstones, like you do 2 sides of everything, is easier for you, you go right ahead and do that, because it's, you know, it's whatever's making it easy for you, or whatever you understand. It's kind of a do what you can do situation when you're doing these, and I do it this way because I find it less discombobulating. So now this is 3, right? And I'm just going to go down a little further in the pile. Let's pick some lemons. And a purplish blue. A purplish blue. And there. Line that up. We're just about there. I'm not going to make you watch the whole quilt because that would just be cruel. But it's getting started that I think is the hard part for people. They start to panic a little, and it doesn't work well. And, okay, and I've got something flipping. There we go. There we go. And we pulled out a lot of fun low volumes too for this. So hopefully that person who gets it receives it as a charity quilt and love it. The community service person asked me to start making twin size quilts again because they've got lots already now. So that's good. And that's number 4, right? That's 4. Maybe we should count before we do something dumb. Okay. There. Let's count them. I think this is 4. I'm pretty sure this is 4. It's 4. Oh, okay. Alright, now, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull all of this back over on our lap. And you're going, oh my goodness, what a mess. Yes, we told you it looked like a hot mess, right? We didn't lie. We didn't say, oh, it's fine, you're going to be doing it perfectly, it'll be great. No, we didn't say any of that. We said hot mess. But once you learn how to do the hot mess, this works out really well. So the first up is your cornerstone. Now you're going to tie this whole stringing mess of stuff together with cornerstones and sashing. So the first row you're starting with both sashing and blocks and cornerstones. The second row, like the next time you sew, you're only dealing with sashing and cornerstones. The third row is only going to be blocks and sashing. So it does make it easier for you to do. Here, let's see, which way is this? This seam is going which way? Oh, it's going out. Okay. Just make it a little easier on yourself. There. There we go. And we don't have any points to match, so we're pretty much free to sew at whatever speed we want, or to make it comfortable for us. There we go. Now you don't twist, make sure you don't twist your sashing, because that would be bad and very difficult when you're doing the other the rows, because right now you're working columns and then you're going to be working in rows. Well, as soon as you start working in rows or doing the second bit of this, it's like, oh dear, I've done this, and it's probably going to be a mess, right? So that's why you don't do it that way. Okay, there we go. Get this in. There. Just, it goes that way. Okay. And this is nice too, because you get to see where the seam, which way the seams are. And that's always helpful too. Okay. Line it up. This is these are such fun friends to play with. I did pull out of my crumbs, because like I say, I just about ran out of strings. So I did pull from my crumbs, which is okay. Crumbs and strings are on my last leg in my sewing room, so it's okay if I use them. They're kind of interchangeable that way. And now, again, you make sure it lies flat, right? And you put in another corner piece. There we go. Now, in order to save time, so this video doesn't run forever, I think you guys have got the idea of what we're doing here. And I will come back in a ta-da moment to show you what we've done or what we've been able to accomplish once we get all the... Oh wait, we'll come back and I'll show you how fast it is to do. Once you do the columns like I'm doing now, then you do the rows. You give it a half 90-degree twist, and then you start doing the rows instead of the columns, and it's much quicker than you probably think it is. So that will be what I'll do, is I'll come back for when we start going the other way, right? So I'm going to stop it here, then we'll come back and we'll start showing once all the quilt is done. Okay, now we've done the columns and we're doing the rows. Like basically we're sewing the other direction. So what you do, and now you start at one end, you work towards the other end. I mean, and yes, you're now dealing with the entire weight of the quilt, but you can also see if you've laid it out correctly, right? And if you've laid it out incorrectly, you only have to dissect a little bit of the quilt on two sides instead of four. So it actually makes it a little easier to make corrections. So that's the big advantage. But learning how to do webbing on something like this is better. Now I've done quite a bit of it. I've got, what, 3 more rows to sew here. I might not make you watch the last one, but we also threw in some cute little Star Wars characters, because they were fussy cut. Like, you know, this guy Yoda, this guy here. He's, you know, he's just cute. So we had some black, so we decided to use it because we could. There, now. The toughest part about this, too, is not only are you dealing with the entire weight, you're dealing with issues of drag. Because you've got all of it sitting in your lap, and it's going over the edge. So you got drag and sometimes pull working, and none of those are fun. Okay. So, here we go. Hopefully I can get through this without whistling or grunting. Yeah, we've had some more comments about my whistling. I don't even know I'm doing it now. You know, guys, that's the reality. I have no idea that I'm doing it. Okay. And I just about started to whistle again. I know, I should stop. When I'm sewing by myself, it's la la la, you know, that kind of whistling, or I've got something, always music in my head going on or something, so that's why I'm whistling along with it. My dad was a whistler too. You could hear him when he was working away doing something. There we go. Okay, I get to the next part. And we're not pulling. don't pull. When you're doing these, don't pull them along. It's tempting to give it a good little tug. Don't do it. Because you've got that stay stitching around the edge. Now, the stay stitching, in fact, does help not have your blocks pull and distort and everything else. But there's still a little bit of give, right, when you do stay stitching. And after that give is gone, you start popping stitches. Ugh, okay. All right. All right, there we go. Get another one. Get another one done. There. And you want to just flatten out what you can and get to the next little point. And you just take this, like, 5-6 inches at a time, and then adjust your fabric again. Make sure you don't turn and flip a seam or something like that. Yeah, there, oops, there we go. There. Well, when I looked at it, everything looked in the right spot. So, like I say, when you're webbing, if you just take that second or two to give it a fluff out, you can usually see whether you've messed up or missed a row, or something's gone wrong in your work. You can kind of, it's easier for you to correct it. So spinning a block, let's say you're working with a quilt where you had directional blocks. Well, now you can take that opportunity to correct them. Okay. And there. This is just coming together grand. Okay. There we go. Just a little bit further. Okay. I think you guys have got the idea. Sew your columns, then sew your rows. Go back to sew your rows. And sometimes it's a little bit of wiggling and everything to get it to work out. But like I say, it gives you an opportunity to check it before you sew it. So I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to do the last 2 rows off camera, and we'll get back to you on the ta-da moment. Okay, see you then. So here's our ta-da moment. This is just beautiful. I am hoping that you can see all the colors and craziness. It's the stars come out. You got secondary patterns here coming out. It's just I'm very impressed how well this came out, or how well it translated into fabric. Sometimes when you draw out designs and play around with them, you're not quite sure until you actually stand back and look at them. I will have a full photo for this on the community post, so look for those. Look for that coming up, like on the YouTube channel. They'll go posts, and there will be this one in full so you can see it. But this one was a lot of fun. Now, next week is going to be your border, and that's optional. This baby is big. It's big already, but I prefer to give bigger quilts because I use up more fabric scraps. Now, I showed this last week. After sewing all of the blocks, I had a very, very full bin of strings when I did this. Now, we had 3 string quilts, different string quilts, starting with Spring Fling and then Twinkle Twinkle. And after this is what we have left for strings in my bin. We also have a bundle of low volumes. So this is it. This is what's in my string bin. And my string bin is 2 feet by 18 inches high, 18 across, right? So it's a pretty good sized bin. But yeah, these 3 quilts, this is the 3rd one of 3. This one very much managed by strings. I might have to do quite a bit of other things first. So So next week is the borders. Then after that we start disappearing pinwheel. So you guys, I hope you had fun and joined me with this so along. Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing this one and drawing it out for you. The next one, like I say, is disappearing pinwheel. There won't be any more strings for a while until I get overrun again. So that'll be fun. So you guys stay well and take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye. My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life and, you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.